It is home for the holidays, and a Merry Christmas to Aisha Alfa and Dave Merheje. Welcome both of you to winter Winnipeg.
Yeah. We left Toronto and it was like a heat wave of plus 15, and we got here and we're like, okay, I should be used to this, but I'm not.
We never get used to this. And it really is a family affair, right, Dave?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You got a show here.
Yes, I do, in the cold.
Yes.
In the very, very cold.
All right, so Aisha brought you home here. What is Family Affairs all about?
I started doing it. I would tell stories about my dad and my family, but I wouldn't really do them on stage. For some of it, I do some of it, and then for years, I wanted to do it as like a one-person show. So then I did it at Zoo Fest in Montreal this past summer, and then I was like, "Oh, this is fun," and able to just talk about like the stories and the characters and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it, so I was like, I want to do a tour of it.
Okay, so you're bringing it here to the Pig.
Yeah.
Aisha, what can we expect? Some real funny stories about him?
Yes, funny stories mostly about his family, because although Dave is the comedian of his family whole could all go on tour as a comedic review, pretty much. So there's going to be the second half of the whole show is basically his one-man show, holiday themed a little more than the usual, with me on stage kind of adding a bit to it. And then the first half of it is going to be all Winnipeg comedians who, two of them have moved to Toronto, and we're bringing them back with us, and then Chantal Marostica, who is the host of the night, who just won Winnipeg's Funniest Person with a Day Job. And the other two comedians are Ben Boschman and Garrett Jameson, who are both from Winnipeg. So it's going to be a fun, like really, really great holiday show, and bringing like just great talent from all over.
Yes, okay, so I want an example. Funny story.
Oh, of my father? He for one, he renovated back home. There's a basement that's been not done for I don't know how many years now, but he renovates the basement based on Kobe Bryant's scoring points. So if Kobe Bryant scores like 40 points, like at 11 at night, he'll get my two younger brothers to go downstairs and renovate, and they're like in their pajamas and like holding up like wood. It's like half asleep, and it almost fell on his head because one of the brothers passed out, kind of thing. And he just does it. I think he just goes on his own beat. He doesn't he's not crazy, but he just has his own style, and he says whatever he wants, kind of thing. And that's awesome, I think. Yeah. So, and he's retired, so he has a lot of time to say whatever he wants.
He's going to get back at you, I think, really.
He will.
But the show's Thursday night at the park. But I want to touch base, Aisha, on what you've been up to, girl, because, we see you at so many events in Winnipeg, and what's Toronto like? I
know, I think it's hard for people to understand. They're like, do you live in Toronto? Do you live in Winnipeg? Like, where are you, you know? So I do. I live in Toronto, and I've just been doing a lot of things. I get called back to Winnipeg a lot to host events or come and do motivational speaking, which I love to do. And now I'm getting more and more established in Toronto and sort of elsewhere in Canada. So since moving, I have had a couple commercials that I'm on, so that's kind of exciting that you can see on TV. It's really fun. And then I've been doing tons of comedy, and I've gotten to go down to Just for Laughs with Dave and perform at Zoo Fest. I've gotten to do some comedy clubs all over Canada, and it's just been really great. I've gotten to do some acting as well, and now I'm trying to really establish myself and get into hosting. But it was really one of those moves where everyone in Winnipeg was like, why are you moving? You're doing so well here. And it just felt like this right move, and it was the right move to the right place at the perfect time. And I got signed with an agent, and really it's been upwards since then. But I totally represent Winnipeg, so everyone knows I'm a Winnipegger. Everyone knows that there.
Yes, and what's up with you, Dave? I like the hat.
Hey man, great segue.
Yeah, no, it is. I guess a lot of people are getting hats for Christmas.
That's perfect. There's the tree. Yeah. Put a hat under the tree. No, I buy a lot of. I never used to dress properly back in the day. Yeah. And I just liked fashion. Then I started to like fashion, and then buying a lot of stuff. And then I was like, oh man, I've always wanted to do something like a clothing line, and I'm spending too much money on other people's stuff. So I was like, let's do it where I can not spend money. So I came up with this hat idea. I wanted to do something, and then me and Aisha were in a car to go, like a rental car, and then I was telling her about it. I don't have a name, and then she came up with Dope Since Birth. So it just kind of clicked. Very well, yeah. And then I know a designer, Kyle, back in Toronto, who does his stuff. So then I collaborated with him. I wanted to do like a baseball kind of thing, but it was the end of the summer, and he's like, "Man, it's not gonna work. Maybe next year." I was like, "Oh," so he's like, "Hats are always the better way." So then that's how this came about, and now we're gonna sell it at the show for $25 a hat, and then we're gonna have like a website coming soon where you can get it if you don't live in the city.
Well, you gotta tell her where the Dobeson's birth. The idea of it really came from a picture of his youngest niece Mia, who's 2, but she's such a boss, and she was like in this pose, in this like, one colored sweatsuit, and had her legs crossed and was leaning back with like stank face, and she just looked like a total boss. And we're like, she's 2. She's been dope since birth. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
well.
Aisha and my niece came up with the idea, and they have stock.
I think they're going on tour, so you better make sure that
Why
they look
work
well.
for them now? So.
Yes, okay. Anyways, welcome home, Aisha, Dave. It's family affairs, but check them out on their websites and check out Dope. You never know. You might get one for Christmas. Don't go away. Go Winnipeg continues.